So dear students, let's discuss about philosophy in brief, and we will be explaining about some concept associated with philosophy in this lecture. So let's begin with, so basic thing of that philosophy is about thinking. It means how we are exploring truth, and it is about non-partial and logical analysis of the given object or incidents or evidences. So we have to think about philosophy in brief that we have to remain non-partial and we have to analyze it logically so that we can feel that we are liberated from the prejudice, and there must be reasonable analysis of fact and evidences during philosophy study. So think about philosophy in brief, and it is devotional approach towards knowledge. So how we can explain about philosophy? So philosophy is about devotional approach towards knowledge, and it is intense craving for persuasion of knowledge. It is well referred as philosophy. So think about philosophy and other dimensions of philosophy. So we understand about exploration of element, then exploration of the knowledge, and exploration of the character. There are three dimensions for which we can understand about philosophy. So think about number one, exploration of the knowledge, exploration of the element, like analysis of the element. So continue with what is element. It is about from whom element was generated, who is the creator of the element, and we will discuss about kinds of element also. So according to science, the atomic genesis of the universe, like the universe was generated from the atom, and philosophy also tells the same thing, that there is atomic genesis of the universe. So in this context we can analyze that from whom the element was generated, and how it could be causative factor for the generation of the universe. And according to philosophical point of view, atomic genesis of the universe, we will understand there are two basic concepts. Number one, physical element. Number two, about conscious elements. So about physical elements, these are basically five physical elements. Number one, earth, water, fire, ether, and air. And about conscious elements, we will learn it is about Leibniz has discussed about conscious elements. So for conscious element, who has discussed? So it was Leibniz who discussed about conscious elements. Now think about the second aspect. It is about the creator. There are basic two postulates associated with the creator of the universe. Number one, according to Charvak, and number two, according to other Indian philosophers. Charvak believes that none has created the universe, and he denied the concept of the dynasty of the god and proposed that the dynasty of the universe by itself, dynasty of the element. And about other Indian philosophers, we can learn like God has generated the universe, and God generates this universe from element from exosphere, like something which is not present inside the universe. God generates these things from those elements. Another concept is like God generates this universe from himself within. Like God is the cause and generator, both is of the universe. For example, Spider-Man weaves her own nest. Now let's discuss about the universe, and we will discuss first about the purpose of the universe. According to Charvak, there are no purpose or objective of the genesis of the universe, and it is the natural instinct of the element for autogenesis of the organized universe. But according to Nyaya, the very purpose of the genesis of the universe is to offer wages of the deeds of the livings, like whatever deeds we have done in our past life, that will be in this life, and these concepts are discussed during the Nyaya. We'll discuss about evolution of the universe, then order of the universe, and whether the universe is mortal or immortal, and we will also learn about the concept of soul during philosophy. So let's continue in brief about just think about God first, and there are some points to ponder. You have to remember, like universe is formed, and formed creator are formed. Formed creator, the creator who was also formful has created the universe. For example, genesis of the tree, like there was a seed and the tree was generated from the seed. Now think about the next one. It is about Nyaya Vaisheshik, means exclusive justice. The theory was postulated by Ramanuja and Madhvacharya, and God brings order into the universe and He manages universal affairs. According to this exclusive justice theory, God is the causative factor for the genesis of the universe. God brings order into the universe and He elopes away from the universe. Another concept is like God has created this universe, now He will go somewhere else. And the next concept is God establishes order into the universe and He also remains present into the universe. Like this universe was created by God, but He will also remain an integral part of this universe. The next concept is about whether the universe is a reality or it's a mere myth, illusionary universe. So, according to Sankaracharya, the universe is illusionary. It means universe is a mithya. He speaks about Brahm Satya Jagat Mithya. So, according to other philosophers, the universe is real because it is formed of elements and the elements exist in reality. So, in a reciprocal way, if element exists in reality and universe is formed of element, then element is also a reality and universe is also a reality, and God is the generator of the universe. It is another concept. And someone says that we perform our duties in the universe and acquire knowledge, and this is the concept associated with knowledge and universe here. Now we'll discuss about other topic associated with these things, and it is about cause of deeds and concept of deeds. There are basically three concepts of deeds. Number one, preserved deeds. Number two, manifested deeds, and number three, present deeds. Just talk about preserved deeds. It is associated with past life, which haven't yet manifested. Such deeds are known as preserved deeds. And about manifested deeds, like those deeds which we are associated with past life, but the present life is the manifestation of the manifestable deeds, like whichever deeds which ought to be manifested in this life had manifested in our this life, and such deeds are known as manifested deeds. And about present deeds, deeds associated with our present life which will be manifested in next life will be referred as present deeds. And now discuss about soul, the nature of soul. And the nature of soul is the very nature of the soul is like subconscious, like soul is achetan, and consciousness induces into the soul when the soul gets connected with mind with senses, and senses with sensation towards object or incidents. Like whatever is happening around us, we can feel, we can sense, we can listen, taste, smell, touch, and feel the things through our senses. It goes to our mind, and mind gives a message to soul, and like soul is the perceiver of the knowledge. And now we'll discuss about other concept. It is about nature of the soul. So according to the Sankaracharya, there is only soul, and other philosopher tells that there are several souls because there are differences between the bondage and the liberation, and there are differences among the body of different living, and differences persist between activeness and inactivity. And what are the other postulates about differences among the souls? Like there are differences between birth and death of the living, that's why there are different souls. Now there are some logics which helps us to prove the dynasty of the soul. It is about operator of the body form is soul. So soul is the operator of the body form instrument. Number two, it is the consumer of the senses. Number three, on the basis of the quality of the consciousness, we can understand about the dynasty of the soul. And now let's discuss about God. And what is God? So about God, we will understand, and what we understand about the dynasty of the soul here. So we have to accept that the soul is the operator of our body instrument according to this theory. Now we will discuss about God. There are some characteristic or features of the God. So God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. Number two, God is the generator of the universe. Number 3, God is the generator of the human. And another concept is like human is the generator of the God. Now we will discuss about knowledge exploration. What is knowledge and how we explore it. So exploration of the knowledge is known as knowledge exploration. Like we are seeking for the knowledge, we are seeking to acquire knowledge, and the analysis of the knowledge is also known as knowledge exploration. So topics we will discuss in this section is what is knowledge, then genesis of the knowledge, then limitations of the knowledge, and justification of the knowledge. So come to the first topic. It is about what is knowledge. Knowledge means faith or belief based on evidences, and according to John Locke, like realization or actualization of the favorability or non-favorability of the knowledgeable ideas is known as knowledge. And the nature of knowledge is, according to Plato, knowledge is the essential and universal truth. It means knowledge is an essential and it is an universal truth which we term as knowledge. According to Kant, knowledge is essential, universal, new, and fact. So whatever is essential, universal, new, and fact could be referred as knowledge according to Plato and Kant. Now come to the next one. It is about genesis of the knowledge, and genesis of the knowledge has three concepts. Number 1, intellectualism. It is about knowledge is generated from intellect. Number 2, experientialism. It is about knowledge is generated from experiences. And number 3, analysis. It's about Kant. So knowledge is generated from both of the intellect and experiences. These are the three basic concepts associated with the genesis of the knowledge. Now let's talk about limitation of the knowledge. So as we discussed, there will be limitation of the knowledge also. In experientialism, like limitation of the experiencer is the limitation of the knowledge too. Like if you are unable to know anything, then the knowledge whatever you will obtain will have some limitation too. The next one is about intellectualism. It is about limitation of the intellect is also the limitation of the knowledge. So if there are some limitation of the knowledge intellect, then there will be limitation of the knowledge also. And the third one is about analysis. It is about greater the quality of the experiences or stimulus, greater would be knowledge. So if you will have greater experience, like the quality of experiences is good, then you will gain more knowledge. For example, there is soul or stimulation or experience, and with the help of brick kiln it could be developed into the brick. Now the thing about the justification of the knowledge, according to Plato, knowledge is always justifiable because it is essential and universal truth. And the thing is about intellectualism, knowledge is acquired through intellect. It is the intellect, if the intellect be free from prejudice, obtain knowledge from the intellect would be pure and reasonable. So we have to remain free from the prejudice to obtain pure knowledge, and this is the concept told us by intellectualism. And according to Hume, knowledge obtained from the experiences always remain suspicious. There are suspicion about the knowledge. And think about the exploration of the character or ethics. There are two dimensions about this. Number 1, bondage, and number 2, liberation. Like suffering, sorrow, and continuous rebirth is associated with bondage and of the character or the soul. And number 2, liberation. Liberation from rebirth cycle and sorrow or sufferings could be referred as liberation. These are the two basic characteristics associated with the characteristic of the character. Now discuss about God. So God is one who is supreme and who is the omniscient dynasty or kingdom. Like God is present everywhere. Number 2 concept associated with God is He is the generator and operator of the universe. And number 3, in primitive religions we can understand that the kingdom of the God or Brahma is superior than the kingdom of the Ishvara. There is a concept of Ishwar and the concept of God. We will discuss about concept of Ishwar now. Means God man is called Bhagwan also. like the person who has manifested all humanitarian values, for example, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, could be considered as God-man. He is not the creator or generator and operator of the universe. Now, for example, Lord Ram, Krishna, Gautam Buddha, Mahavir could be referred as like Bhagwana. And now think about ideologies. There are basic three categories of the ideologies. Number one, materialism. Number two, idealism. And number three, objectivism. Think about this one by one. About materialism, they do not believe that there is any existence of God, and they are following and worshipping of God is madness according to materialism. And like lifeless atoms or elements, for example, earth, water, air, fire, and ether forms the life, and there is no role of God in the formation of the human, and man is the creator of his own destiny. And the basic atom of lifeless are considered for universe, flora and fauna, and consciousness. So these things like universe, flora and fauna, and consciousness are generated from the basic lifeless atom, and this is known as atom. And think about idealism. Idealism tells that there are external objects which depends upon the soul. Basic element is super consciousness, and super consciousness are the responsible for generation of universe, God-man, and flora and fauna. And think about objectivism. It is about external object exist, and it tells that it does not depends upon soul. And there are two kind of things. Number one, lifeless. Number two, consciousness. Lifeless means universe, and number two, consciousness means flora and fauna. So, and this are the things associated with the concept of objectivism that we discuss here in this slide. Now we will move further to discuss about other content, but the basic thing is that every component discuss about some basic elements, and then they segregate among the basic component among like living and non-living. We continue with materialism. Like a materialistic person believe that like heaven, religion, hell, and liberation are not worthy, hence denies the existence of God. And they emphasize that there are current or present life. We have to focus on our present or current life, and we have to consume and enjoy. That's all. Just consume and enjoy. That's all about consumerism. Fact is something real. Might it's about impure knowledge or mites, and like perceiving rope as snake. Think about ideas. Ideas are subject of knowledge, and evidences means instrument of knowledge, and the knower means the subject of knowledge who gains knowledge, and it is referred as soul. Now come to the next topic. We will discuss about evidences, and let's discuss about 5 dimensions of evidences. Number one, sensible. Whichever we perceive through like senses are known as sensible evidences. For example, knowledge obtained through contact of senses organs like eye, nose, ear, tongue, and skin. And so that, like for example, knowledge of chair through eyes, it is about sensible evidences for knowledge. About perceived or perception, it's about knowledge which we obtain later. Like we move towards non-sensual from sensual object of knowledge. And for example, like once we saw some smokes in near around, and by observing the smokes we can perceive that there is fire in our nearby locality. So it is about perceived perception. And about statements, like verbal evidences. For knowledge perceived through the statements of the trustable person could be referred as statements evidences. And statements were recorded, and it will be recorded, and whatever you are like reading or whatever you are observing during class is about that. Now think about assumptions. Assumption is like knowledge obtained from probable assumptions, like what could be reason for anything, what should be, what ought to be, like such things. Like knowing about fox by comparing it with dogs. Like if we have seen dogs, they have 4 feet, they could have such kind of body structure. So on the basis of the appearance of the dog, we can perceive that there is also fox which could be existing into the wild. and think about the explanations. It is about imagination about the object of knowledge when you are unable to understand. If you are unable to understand, then you could imagine like what might have happened and you could explain it accordingly. Imagination about any object of knowledge is explanation. So you will be imagine and then you will be explaining it will be like this. And like closing the window pane by absorbing the fast moving air. By absorbing the fast moving air, you can sense that there might be possibility for a storm as it appeared earlier and recently in Amphan in our eastern coast and Nisarga in our western coast. Now think about non-existence, like knowledge about non-existence of any object, and about Indian philosophy. There are basically three dimensions. Number one, materialism. Number two, objectivism. And number three, idealism. For materialism, it was postulated by Charvak. And about objectivism, there are some like thinkers like Jainism, Buddhism, Nyaya Vaisheshik means exclusive justice, Sankhya Yoga, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. And about idealism, Buddha, scientific theories, and Sankaracharya. This is about Indian philosophy. We will learn later. Now think about Genesis. Like generator, there is one thing we have to learn and we will learn it through example. Like a sculpture have created the statue from soul. This is an example. Here, a sculpture is the subject or creator and soul is the raw object or raw material from where the statue was created, i.e. source of creation. So for example, spider weaves her own net. In this example, both the creator and the source of the creation is the spider itself. So there are two examples. Number one, you can understand that the creator is different from the matter of creation, and creator is the source of the matter of creation. So source of creation means raw material, and universal means exist in the universe. Whatever is existing across the universe could be recorded as universal. And exo-universal means beyond the ambit of the universe, is referred as exo-universal. Now think about miracle. What is miracle? So possibility of the perceived impossible according to the human intelligence will be referred as miracle. Like something happened which was not possible according to the human intelligence, but it happened. So it could be considered as it is a miracle. For example, survival of a child after falling from the sky after plane crash will appear as a miracle. Like there was a plane crash and child falls from the sky but still he is alive. It gives us an representation that it's a kind of miracle. The child survived that plane crash. Now think about pantheism. Pantheism is like everything is God and God is everything. It's about omnipotent and omnipresent nature of the God. And now we will discuss about causativism. So in this context, like God is only the causative factor for the genesis of the universe. So such things we discuss during different classes of the philosophy. We will discuss the later chapter later onward. Thank you.